Okay. In chapter 3, I read your book and I was really, really engrossed in all the things that you have to say. It is a great piece for people to get involved in. In chapter 3, it says about confidence, how it can be cultivated. And it says, confidence can be cultivated and bolstered. We are born with all the elements of confidence within us: bravery, intelligence, creativity, imagination, wisdom. Dr. Richard Petty, psychology professor at Ohio State University, says confidence is the stuff that turns thoughts into action. We all have thoughts. You're thinking all day long. There is not a moment when you're not thinking. You can think yourself confident. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, we become what we think about all day. And Brian Tracy, one of the most quoted authorities on confidence, says, the thing we focus on all day long is the thing we will have in our life. So why not focus on being the confident, courageous person you desire to be? Confidence and actions are related. You can't have one without the other. So if this is true, what can we as women or men do to change that action?
Well, that's a big question. Then, there's no better place to look than the world of work to see how this can have an effect on your life. And, there are two women that did some research on this and wrote about it in a book called The Confidence Gap. This was a phrase coined by journalists Kathy Kay and Claire Shipman. And they looked at hundreds of women and how they functioned at work and the confidence level. The book they wrote about it is called Womenomics. I highly recommend reading that. And in my work with women who are starting and running a business or want to rise up the ranks in their companies or want to reinvent their career and find their dream job, I find that this confidence gap exists and it holds them back. So Kay and Shipman found in their research this lack of self-confidence is in highly accomplished women. It's not women who are, it's in a lot of women suffer from it, but they were surprised to find it in highly accomplished women. And these women are afraid to ask for a raise. They lack assertiveness and fearlessness in reaching out for promotion. And what's even sadder, when they get a promotion, they feel they don't deserve it. I see this also in women who run their own businesses. They undervalue their services and they fear increasing their fees. And when we do gain success, or when they do gain success, sometimes I have this problem too, we tend to attribute this to luck rather than our own efforts. So they also tend to suffer more from feelings of imposter syndrome. You've heard of that, right?
What is that again?
Well, that's when you feel like you're not equipped to do what you've been, assigned to do. You get a job and you think, who did I fooled somebody to get here. In fact, I had one lady who I was coaching who said to me, after she had been promoted to a senior executive position in her company, she said, I wonder when someone will find me out and I'll be busted.
I hear that.
So if we think we have no value, we operate on that low frequency. If we think we have a valuable contribution to make, we'll get into a higher positive frequency. The writer Ralph Waldo Emerson says we become what we think about all day long. And so I try to remember that phrase because we want to think about positive things about ourselves, and that will help us to get to be confident and courageous in what we're doing. So I know you always like me to go to the action now points
Yes, the
show
action
people
now is good. Let's go.
let's do that. So one thing you can do is think of someone who you know and admire for the confidence they exhibit and their ability to capture an audience when they speak. When you're watching them or when you're thinking about them, break down the qualities you notice. What is their stature like? How does their tone of voice inspire confidence? What kind of stories do they tell? How do people react to their stories? How do you react to their stories? How did one of their stories inspire you? And you can send a direct message to that person or a text and let them know how much they inspired you and what it is you liked about what they did. And if you want to kick it up a level, call the person and arrange for a meeting with them and give them, offer to buy them coffee or lunch. This person could become a real mentor to you and help you to grow in your confidence. And people are always open to helping others. That's one of the things that we all find satisfaction with. And I do find that when people get to a higher level, they're quite willing to help others to get up there as well.